Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. ITSOER, Lauryn Pumpkin Efird files for divorce from Josh. It's over for Lauryn Pumpkin Efird as she has filed for divorce from her husband of 6 years, Josh Efird. The two have 4 children together: Ella, Bentley, Stella, and Silas. So what has caused the deterioration of this marriage? Keep reading for more details. The season of Mama June family crisis just ended, and it was heart-wrenching as everyone said goodbye to Anna Cardwell. They had watched her pass, and then they took her ashes to Florida. There they were going to disperse them in the ocean in a beautiful tribute. Unfortunately, Josh Efird was really worried about his wife, Lauryn Pumpkin Efird. Since Anna passed, her mental health had taken a nosedive, and she was not the same at all. The kids wanted their old mommy back, but that was not happening, and it made sense. She had watched her older sister crumble right before her very eyes. It also seemed like Pumpkin was the main breadwinner, as no one knew what Josh did for a living. She has her own business with her sisters and hustles on social media. More so, she does meet and greets and vendor fairs. Now, with the latest season over, Pumpkin is dropping a bomb no one saw coming. She is divorcing Josh after 6 years of marriage. According to TMZ, the 24-year-old filed papers earlier this week to dissolve the union. They have agreed to joint custody of the 4 minor children and do believe that their marriage is irretrievably broken. Additionally, Josh and Lauryn Pumpkin Efird have a parenting agreement in place so they can each be with their children. Finally, medical expenses will be split, as will extracurricular activities and playtime. In terms of housing, they have a lease, so it looks like Pumpkin will be staying in the home as Josh's name is being removed from it. This is not the home as seen on the show, but rather their actual house. The one seen on TV is a filming rental for space purposes. Neither Josh Efird nor Lauryn Pumpkin Efird will be getting alimony, and Josh has 60 days to get out of the home. The duo wed in 2018, with Pumpkin saying she never wanted to be a teen mother. However, that is what happened, and they then took in her younger sister, Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson, when Mama June was heavily into substance abuse. So their marriage had a lot of ups and downs, but they seemed to make it work. Now, will this be a big storyline to keep the show going another season? That is all up in the air. Lauryn Pumpkin Efird sat in the small, dimly lit room, the flickering fluorescent light casting long shadows on the beige walls. The room was suffused with a sterile scent, and the air felt thick with unspoken emotions. Clutching the manila envelope that held the divorce papers, she felt a wave of nausea wash over her. This was it. The final step in ending a chapter that had once been filled with love, hope, and dreams. The decision had not come easily. Pumpkin and Josh's relationship had always been tumultuous, but they had shared moments of genuine happiness. They had built a family together, welcomed children into their lives, and fought through many obstacles. But somewhere along the line, the fights had become more frequent, the silences more suffocating, and the love that once burned brightly had dimmed to a mere flicker. Pumpkin took a deep breath, her fingers trembling as she opened the envelope. The stark black letters on the crisp white paper seemed to scream at her. Petition for divorce. The words were both a relief and a heartbreak. She had tried, they both had, but sometimes love just wasn't enough. Her mind drifted back to the early days of their relationship. She remembered the way Josh's eyes would light up when he saw her, the way he would hold her close and whisper sweet nothings into her ear. They had been so young, so full of promise. But life had a way of testing even the strongest of bonds. The pressures of fame, financial struggles, and the challenges of raising a family had taken their toll. Pumpkin could still hear the echoes of their last argument. Harsh words had been exchanged, accusations thrown like daggers. She had seen the hurt in Josh's eyes, but she had also felt her own pain. The realization that they were no longer good for each other had hit her like a ton of bricks. They were toxic together, and it wasn't fair to either of them or their children. She glanced at the clock on the wall, the seconds ticking by with an almost cruel slowness. She knew Josh would be arriving soon to sign his part of the papers. The thought of facing him, of seeing the finality in his eyes, was almost too much to bear. But she knew it had to be done. They needed to move forward, to find a way to co-parent amicably for the sake of their children. They sat down at the small table, the divorce papers lying between them like a physical barrier. For a moment, neither of them spoke, the silence heavy with unspoken words. Finally, Josh broke the silence. "Are you sure this is what you want?" he asked, his eyes searching hers for any sign of doubt. Pumpkin took a deep breath, her eyes welling up with tears. "It's not about what I want, Josh. It's about what's best for both of us and the kids. We can't keep doing this to each other." He nodded slowly, his gaze dropping to the papers in front of him. "I know. I never thought it would come to this." "Neither did I," she admitted, her voice breaking. "But sometimes things don't work out the way we hope. It doesn't mean we didn't try." Josh reached across the table, his hand covering hers. The touch was both familiar and foreign, a reminder of what they once had and what they were about to lose. "I'll always care about you, Pumpkin. And I'll always be here for the kids." "I know," she said, squeezing his hand. "And I'll always care about you too. We need to find our own paths now." With a heavy heart, they both picked up their pens and began to sign the papers. Each stroke of the pen felt like a final nail in the coffin of their marriage. When they were done, they sat in silence for a moment, the reality of their situation sinking in. As they stood up to leave, Josh pulled Pumpkin into a tight embrace. She buried her face in his shoulder, allowing herself a moment of vulnerability. They had been through so much together, and despite everything, she knew she would always hold a special place in her heart for him. "Take care of yourself, okay?" he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "You too," she replied, her voice muffled against his shirt. They pulled away, and with one last look, Josh walked out of the room, leaving Pumpkin standing there alone. She watched him go, a mixture of sadness and relief washing over her. It was over. The chapter had closed, but a new one was just beginning. As she walked out of the building, the cool breeze hit her face, and she took a deep breath. The future was uncertain, but she knew she had the strength to face whatever came her way. She had her children, her family, and her inner resilience. And with that, she would find a way to rebuild her life, one step at a time. Pumpkin glanced at the sky, the sun breaking through the clouds, casting a warm glow over everything. It was a new day, a new beginning. And as she walked away from the past, she felt a sense of hope that maybe, just maybe, everything would be okay.